Hey guys, welcome back. Today I have something completely different for you. We're going to be doing my all-time favorite drugstore products. I don't have everything here that I absolutely love, but this is like 5 to 10 products that will definitely help you in your makeup routine if you're looking for a specific like concealer, highlighter, lipstick, primer, eyeshadow palette, powder, loose powder, blush, or foundation. I have all the best ones here from the drugstore for you guys, so if you want to see my opinions on the best drugstore products, then keep on watching. So I'm going to start with primers and the face, and first I'm going to start with this one because it's my favorite primer that I have by far. It is the L'Oreal Paris Visible Lift Radiance Booster Brightening Primer with 24-hour hydration. It's in the color 100. I actually didn't purchase this. I was given it by a friend, but it claims to instantly brighten for radiant finish, smooths and evens your skin with a 24-hour hydration, infused with nourishing oils, lightweight and non-greasy. They're right, it's lightweight, it is non-greasy. I don't know that it smooths, but it doesn't not help with my texture. Like, it does help with my texture, but it doesn't mattify is what I'm trying to say. So it's guys, just go get this primer if you're looking for a like radiant primer that's not as intense as this one, which is my next favorite primer from the drugstore. But I also love to use this as a highlighter, as you guys have seen in some of my more recent videos. This is the Magic Lumi Light Infusing Primer. So it's labeled as a primer, but I use it as a liquid highlight. So moving back on to primers, I have the Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. You can see how this is just gone. This is a silicone textured pore filling primer, and it works very similar to the Porefessional by Benefit. So you can even notice like they kind of copied the color, I guess, the mint green with the, I don't know. Anyway, so that would be my second favorite primer from the drugstore. I don't have any more primers for you guys, but I'm going to go ahead and move on to what would be next, and that is foundation. I'm going to start with my #1, hands down, favorite foundation from the drugstore. You guys probably see me use this in 75% of my videos. The L'Oreal True Match Lumi Healthy Luminous Makeup. This comes in so many shades. They have a cool, neutral, and warm line. I have nothing bad to say about it. It doesn't have a weird smell. It is great coverage. It's kind of like medium to full. It's not necessarily, you can make it sheer, I guess, if you only use a very minimal amount. It doesn't dry very quick, so you have like plenty of time to blend it out with a beauty blender or a brush, which I really love. And it will give you the prettiest finish all day long. It's just like the most natural glow. So that is my favorite. And another one that's really good if you're oily and you don't want to go for like a luminous finish is the L'Oreal True Match. And this stuff is amazing. It's more like a matte to satin finish versus like a luminous finish, but still a really, really good foundation. And they have them in the warm, cool, and neutral tones as well. And then last but not least, I do have a third foundation. I didn't want to just show you guys a L'Oreal foundation, so I went ahead and showed you another brand that I like, and this would be the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. Now, you're going to notice a lot of these products, L'Oreal is my #1, and Maybelline comes right after that, and I do believe that L'Oreal owns Maybelline, but Maybelline is like a sister, like a smaller version of L'Oreal. So yeah, that's something that I have learned, and this would be the Matte and Poreless Fit Me Foundation. They also have a healthy luminous, it's a dewy smooth one, and I really like that one as well. They are great foundations, and they come in a lot of shades too. Don't have as much to say about the coverage on this because I haven't used it in a really long time, but that reminds me I need to. I think I'm going to do concealer next, and you guys know me, I'm obviously going to talk about the Maybelline Fit Me concealers. I don't know if Revlon, I'm sorry, not Revlon, what the hell did that come from? If L'Oreal has a concealer or not. Actually, they do. There is a L'Oreal True Match concealer, and it is like a short, stubby, fat container, and it has a what, it has a silver lid, and it's a L'Oreal True Match, and it also comes in the warm, neutral, and cool. But this foundation is horrible. It's like, it's not pigmented, but it's like greasy and patchy and sticky, and it is awful. So yeah, don't buy the L'Oreal True Match concealer. Buy the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. I have had this for probably like 6 months, and I have another one in there that I use. So I use like 2 of them, but I think I've went through 5 of them total because I've had them since high school. And this is in a darker shade. I like to use this for cream contouring because it's such a liquidy, easily blendable concealer that it's perfect for it. Also a dupe for the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I don't really have any other concealers that I use from the drugstore. Those are the ones I use from the drugstore. But if I had to use one, it would be the Instant Age Rewind by Maybelline. This stuff works pretty well for the under eye. I used to only use it for the under eye, so if you're looking for a new one, or maybe the Fit Me doesn't work for you, try picking this up. And I'm going to go ahead and move on to a highlighter. What? To powder. And I only have one loose powder here. This is the Maybelline Master Fix Face Studio Setting Perfecting Loose Powder. It says it sets, mattifies, blurs, and smooths. And this stuff is a dupe for the Tarte Smooth Operator powder, but honestly, this will give you flashback easier than the Smooth Operator. The Smooth Operator will also give you flashback, but not if you use a very minimal amount of it. This will give you flashback no matter how much you use. But if you're not doing flash photography, then flashback should not be a problem. The NYX Loose FX powder, or HD powder I believe it is loose, and it almost comes in the exact same packaging, and it has the same silicone-y feel for a powder. I gave it to my mom, so I actually don't have it anymore because I just used the Maybelline one more, but NYX has one as well. So I'm not really sure which one works better between the NYX and the Maybelline. I never tried that. I just gave my mom the NYX one because it had a really, really off-putting smell that I almost couldn't bear. And this one doesn't like have one at all, but I'm literally out of powder, and my Tarte Smooth Operator powder I have had for months, and I'm not even, I'm like right at halfway out. You can see. So it just depends, you know. You probably get more product, but you pay a lot more money as well. Now I'm going to move on to a face powder, and this used to be my favorite face powder. I didn't even use a loose powder or a colored powder or anything like that. This was simply what I put over my concealer, and I would never wear a blush or a highlight. It was always bronzer in high school, but still, this stuff works phenomenal. I do not know how well it works or would work on oily skin, but it claims to have up to 5 hours of natural shine control with natural minerals, and it helps minimize the appearance of pores. I'm not sure about it minimizing the appearance of pores, but I used to use this like to mattify my lipstick. I would put an eyeshadow brush in it that was clean and like apply it to my lipstick everywhere. Now obviously I hardly use it. You can see how used it was though. It was either in my purse or my backpack throughout high school, and this is still the exact one I used. So the other face powder I have for you guys, I did not recently purchase it, but it came out a lot longer after this came out, and it is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Powder. I do want to say the Pro Matte Powder did come out before the Pro Matte and the Pro Glow foundations, because I had this way before the foundation was ever, or at least before I knew about the foundation, I do believe. I could be lying to you guys. But this stuff is really full coverage. I actually used it and I'm wearing it today around my face. So I do believe that this is a fantastic face powder. And now I guess we'll do blush, or do we want to do bronzer? I'll do bronzer. I only actually have one drugstore bronzer for you guys. So now I'm going to move on to bronzer. I actually only have one bronzer on hand for you guys. I have two suggestions for drugstore bronzers. I'm going to go ahead and start with the one I have on hand. I'm wearing it today with a little bit of my Hoola Benefit bronzer over it. And it is the Revlon Bronze Brick in the color Bronzilla. And yeah, it's like a satin finish. There's absolutely no sparkle in it, but it's not a matte finish either. So like, I guess I can try and swatch it for you, but it is really, really sheer. Like, you have to kind of build it up. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's just a really pretty natural glowy bronzer to really like just bring your skin to life. And I'm sure if you got a shade a little bit darker, you could contour with it. This just is too light for me to contour with it, why I applied the Hoola Benefit bronzer over it. Moving on to blush, I'm going to show you guys my hands down favorite blush ever, and it is by Milani. And I was tipped off about this blush from YouTubers, and it is the Baked Powder blush, but that's not the blush that's my favorite. That is my second favorite, and it's the second option I have here to show you guys. But my favorite one, hands down, is their powder blush. This is their powder blush in this shade Tea Rose. And it claims to be an ultra silky soft powder blush that delivers the perfect amount of color and easily blends on to cheeks. And it literally does just that. It's the perfect amount of color and it blends so easy. It's not like this stiff pink powder. It's just so glidable, and I love that I love that blush. I have used it in so many looks. Like, if I have not used that blush, then it was probably one that I was just trying out. To my second favorite blushes from the drugstore, these are the Milani Baked Blushes. I went out and purchased Luminoso, I believe because of Jaslyn Hill's video, and it is a really gorgeous color, and it will give you some luminosity to the cheeks. It's a little bit more pink than what I just showed. Excuse me. It is a little more pink than the Milani Tea Rose blush, but then I went out and picked up this blush, and I want to say Nikki Tutorials, another YouTuber. A different YouTuber is the one that I learned about this shade from, of this blush, and I went ahead and purchased it when I seen it. And I just think this one is so much prettier. It is the Coralina Baked Blush. This is in number 5 Luminoso, and Coralina is in number 8. So you can see the shade difference. This one is quite a bit darker and has quite a bit more luminosity. So these are just really cute little blushes that have a lot of product in them. Yeah, and I think that they have great pigment, and they wear really, really long, probably longer than their powder blush, but it's a baked blush, so that's probably why. So for highlighters, this is the Physicians Formula Translucent Pearl. It's their Mineral Glow Pearls. It's in the shade Translucent Pearl, I'm sorry. It is a pretty good highlighter for the drugstore, but you really gotta wet your brush if you want this to show up. I will show you guys how pigmented it is. I mean, it's almost like the blush over there is almost just as shiny. So if you got the pigment a little wet, I feel like, well, geez, you guys can't even see that swatch. Why do I have to make it so awkward for myself? Can you see that? Yeah, you guys can see that highlight. What a weird swatch. But long story short, you can see the pigment in this highlight. Isn't the best, but it is better than most. I did hear Wet n Wild came out with a really good one since I have been to the drugstore, so I plan on checking out the Wet n Wild one by the time I go back. Moving on to the second highlighter is from L'Oreal, and this is their Powder Glow Illuminator Blush and Highlight Kit. I got it in the color golden, so I do believe that there was like a light white one and then a darker one. I think I usually get the middle shade, so I do believe this was the middle shade. So my favorite lip pencil ever from the drugstore is the Rimmel London Exaggerate pencil. This is my favorite because it comes almost in the shape of your lip and you can spin it upwards. You never have to sharpen it or worry about like the wood stabbing your lips, and I don't know, that's a problem I have with regular lip liners. This is my favorite. This is in the color Addiction. It's almost just like my lip color naturally, but a little bit better. And the other pencils that are my favorite are by Rimmel London as well. And these are the Lasting Finish lip pencils. I have them in my two favorite colors are 49 Natural, 45 Cafe, and then I also have Rose Quartz, Wild Clover, and Coffee Bean. So here is Natural. This is my favorite. Here is Coffee Bean. I'll go ahead and swatch these guys for you because why not? So there is Natural. Can you even see that? Like, why am I swatching it over there, you know? Natural. And then I'll go ahead and swatch Cafe for you guys. And this one's like a brown, almost red, and I just really love the color. And last but not least, my favorite setting spray from the drugstore is the All Day Wear Wet n Wild Photo Focus Setting Spray. So these are my favorite drugstore products. I use them often. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video.